my goodness, what is going on with the Shiunji family this time? Minami is confessing all of her feelings towards Arata to Shion, and Shion doesn't even seem surprised in the slightest. Oh yeah, and what happened at the end of the chapter? This family vacation has taken a crazy turn, so let's just hop straight into it. The Shiunji Family, Chapter 60. Coming off the last chapter where Seiha confessed her love to Arata in front of all of her family, we're getting the aftermath on how Minami feels about the whole situation. As we know, all of the children in the Shiunji family are adopted and have no familial ties to each other, except for Shion and Minami, who are actually blood related. Before in the series, we haven't really gotten too much of their characters together, but if there was any good time to do so, it would be now. And that was the focus of this chapter. So Minami goes and wakes up Shion and asks to talk. And Shion, kind of being all observant, already kind of knows what this is about. And he's asking, oh, is this about Arata? You know, Minami seems super surprised, but for Shion, he literally says, I somewhat felt that's what this was about. For him, it was a super easy tell, because him and Minami went way back, and Minami was always clinging to Shion, so he kind of has a good read on her. So their conversation continues, and Minami asks about, what do you think about what Seiha said? From the last few chapters, Seiha said that the reason she won this table tennis tournament was because of her love for Arata, which is a crazy statement to say about a family member. But you have to remember, this is the same writer who wrote Rent-a-Girlfriend, so anything is fair game here. Even for Shion, Seiha saying this was kind of unexpected. And don't forget when Kotono at the beginning of the series confessed her love off rip. But anyways, we continue the conversation, and Minami's asking, has Shinji said anything? You know, because of course after a situation like what just happened, he would probably feel a little weird or just distraught. And right after this, Kotono tells Shion, please don't be surprised by this, but I think I might be in love with Arata too. And no surprise to Shion, he's like, yep, who could have guessed? You know, Minami acting all surprised, a little embarrassed here. But Shion said, do you remember the candle night event? During that time, Arata overheard the conversation that you three girls had. And if I'm not mistaken, this conversation was with Kotono, Minami, and Oka. And they were basically saying, hey, I know we're all in this situation together. We're all technically family members, but none of us are related and we all like Arata, but I'm not just gonna give him to you. You know, they're all gunning for him and they're gonna be rivals in this. And yeah, basically Arata overheard this whole conversation. The girls didn't know about it, but Arata went and told Shion about it. He spilled the beans and was really asking him for some advice on what to do in this situation. Because yeah, for Arata, he really just wants to keep the family together. To him, it doesn't matter that they're not real family members. To him, it's more important that they grew up together and they treated each other as family for such a long period of time that just figuring out that, oh, we're actually not related isn't gonna stop him from treating them any differently. But yeah, moving on to the meat of this chapter, Minami really just wants to vent to Shion about how she feels. Like, she can understand that, hey, we were both brother and sister for the longest period of time, but out of nowhere they were told that they weren't. But to her, she's never felt like this before. This is the first time she's experiencing love. And here, this is where we can clearly see the difference between Arata's character design and the other girls, right? Their mentalities going into this are completely different. Arata wants to stay as family while the girls don't. You know, we thought for the longest period of time, Bonri might have been on the same wavelength as Arata, but it turns out she wasn't. So Arata's only safe haven in this whole entire series at this point in time is Shion. It's getting to the point for Minami where her love for Arata and the competition between her sisters is making her start to hate them a little bit. And she doesn't like that about herself. And she doesn't know what to do because she doesn't want to give up either. She knows that the best solution would just be give up her feelings and just forget about the whole thing, but she's telling Shion that she just can't do it. From this, we get to see a side of Minami that we haven't really seen at all, right? She's a little helpless in this situation. And this is really solidifying Shion's position in the family as kind of an anchor for all the characters, right? They can all confide in him because he is kind of removed from the whole romance drama of the series. I wouldn't say he's like a mentor per se, but he's more of just a third party that everyone can vent to. You know, this puts a lot of pressure on him as a character, but so far in the series, he hasn't had any other type of development. So this is a good place, I think personally, for him to be. And yeah, this is the end of their conversation. It's still late at night, But we're cutting to another scene, right? This scene is with Arata. He's waking up in the middle of the night and there's someone sleeping next to him. And he's super confused. He doesn't know what's happening. And lo and behold, who is it? It's Oka. I guess somehow Oka snuck up and started sleeping next to him. And yeah, that is where we leave off the chapter. Who knows what's gonna happen in the next chapter, because this is kind of a weird situation for Arata to be in. Personally, if I had to guess, I would think Oka has the best shot of getting together with Arata at this point in time. Just from all the previous chapters that we've had, Oka seems to have always the most dialogue with him and also just the strongest connection. But you know, everything is still unknown for a lot of these harem type series. The girl that you don't expect to win is gonna win. But yeah, there's just been so much built up with Oka's character and how most of the arcs have been going, or how most of the stuff in the Shiunji family has been going, or at least has been romantically developed, is that, okay, there's a situation and each of the girls kind of need their time to shine, right? So we'll go from one girl to the next girl to the next girl, and they all kind of shift in a similar direction or advance their relationship with Arata that way. But it always seems that Oka has a little step ahead of everyone. And as we can see here, in this random trip arc that they're having, the one who's getting the most time in the spotlight is Oka once again. But yeah, personally, if I had to choose best girl for this series, I would choose Seiha, but who knows what's gonna happen. This is the author of Rent a Girlfriend, so anything is on the table. And yeah, let me know in the comment section what you guys think is gonna happen in the next coming chapters, what the next arc might be, how their relationships with Arata might develop in the future. And yeah, that's about it. So I'll see y'all.